At Brampton, I always feel like the teachers know about me and they care about me as a person, and they ask questions to me after lessons about how I'm doing, which gives me inspiration for the future but also inspires me in lessons because they have such great depth of understanding about the subject. The sessions with my personal tutor are really beneficial to me because it allows me to look at my record over the past 2 weeks and gives me an understanding of why I've achieved the grades rather than just being up in the air about what I'm doing. I really benefited from the weekly testing because it prepared me for the exams. I know it's a fear of many students to turn up to a school and not feel comfortable, but Brampton's atmosphere is so open that it's so easy to make friends. The best part of my experience at Brampton has been my friendships, because I haven't made better friends than the ones that I've made at Brampton, and I know that I will see them for the rest of my life. My experience of Brampton has given me choices I otherwise would never have thought of. It's helped me achieve the grades to study somewhere I've always wanted to, at Bath. The careers in Brampton was really useful in giving me advice and giving me confidence when giving in my application. I would definitely recommend Brampton to anybody who asks me because I feel like I've become my best person.
Brampton has really transformed my grades, my confidence, and my self-belief. The one-to-one teaching here is a fantastic benefit which has supported me immensely and helped me to identify any weaknesses. Regular weekly tests really help to prepare you for exams and help pinpoint any areas to improve. Lots of practice in exam conditions help you to prepare for the final thing. I've made many friends here that I will stay in contact with. I've enjoyed the chess club. It's a chance to have time with friends and to have a break from studying. It's really useful to have a careers facility that we could use at any time. We can book one-to-one sessions with the careers advisor and offer you some really useful advice. All my teachers are very motivating. They inspire me about the subject and to do well. I feel really supported and cared for in a way I didn't experience at my old school.
Brampton is special because of the way it treats its students. It has great facilities, but it is more a people place. There's a spirit here that engages the students so they want to work. That's why I recommend this institution beyond all others. So the support you get here is fantastic. It's exceedingly personal. You have a one-to-one relationship with the headmaster. He takes a real personal interest in your welfare, your development, so it makes you feel that you're in really capable hands very professional hands, very caring hands, and you can't see more than that. So as a parent, dare I say, you first of all feel that your money's well spent. You also feel that your daughter's being cared for. It's not just about results, though they get great results, but they develop the person of the students as well, exceptionally well. Yeah, I think the students here have really high hopes for themselves because they do well. So why wouldn't you end up in a good university or a good job? They're given all the opportunities that you could hope for, the results speak for themselves, and they go places and they do well, and you feel proud that your offspring have done well, you feel proud that you've spent the money well yourself, and you feel proud for the teaching staff who have given their all, because it's not hands-off. These people, you meet with them quite frequently, and the staff are second to none. They want to engage, they want to find out, they want to do their best, and they do so in such a charming, personal way that you know that they are caring, and the consequence is that you get a fantastic graduated student at the end of the run here. In terms of developing her character, her confidence, her persona, and her ability to engage with the adult real world. And thanks to Brampton, she does that fabulously. At her old school, getting her out of bed was a drag. It was a hassle. But here, quite the opposite. She's absolutely ready to get up and go and participate and learn and do. You only have to look at the results, you only have to look at the students, you only have to look at the facilities, and you only have to look at the staff, and you only have to meet the headmaster, because they are all top-notch. So I could not recommend Brampton more highly. What you get at Brampton is the opportunity to find yourself, develop yourself, and come out with really good results and a future.
I used to go to JFS before Brampton, very large school, about 2,000 children, academically easily lost in the crowd, so the focus isn't always on you, often is on the students doing very well and on the students doing very badly. The middle crowd are sort of left out. What you get at Brampton is the small classes, maximum probably about 9 or 10 people in a class, which means that everyone really gets like an equal chance to learn as much as they want, and the focus can be on each student equally. I don't think you can get lost in a crowd that is 9 people. It's never going to happen, is it? What makes it special is definitely the time the teachers are willing to give you. There's tutorials like every day. You're welcome to come down to the staff room and ask for help. Like the amount of times I've heard that of the phrase, come and ask me, I'm happy to give you a hand. They're actually willing to give you your time. And for me, that was so helpful during like the exam periods when you're stressed out and you need someone to mark a question to give you that bit of confidence. And it really, that is the difference, is the time the teachers are willing to give you. It really helped me, gave me confidence in the work I was doing. I feel like I succeeded when I came here because I was given the chance. And I found like a love for computer science and for software and all things. And I've now applied to do computer science at university. So, given the time, I realised like sort of where my passions were. It's a relaxed environment as well, which means you're allowed to talk to people, you're allowed to make friends. And while academia is such an important part, I think they realise that also the years that you're here is also an important few years where you're maturing socially as well. There's extracurricular activities, where you can make friends where you might not be in their classes, but because you've got the same interests like football or table tennis or something like that, it's a chance to meet new people. I've seen how I've changed, and I've seen how it's benefited me, and I think I've gone from someone who wasn't willing to work to someone who now sees the benefit of working, and I mean, that's crucial. It's a motivator. I'd say that's what Brampton is. And you can see that, you know, I just received a newsletter today on the front, 16 years, top of the league tables. You know, how else can you say it's not a motivator? It definitely is. You know, it takes people come here who haven't done very well at other schools or other colleges, and they transform them into hard-working achievers. And I'd say that's why probably the one word that describes Brampton is they're a motivator.
I think the one thing that Brampton has going for it that's different than any other college is that the teachers are so geared up to help you. Whereas like in other colleges you feel like you were nagging the teachers or like you were asking too many questions. That's never the case at Brampton. They're just like so willing to help. If it's at lunchtime, if it's in the tutorials, if it's after school, it's just like if you catch them in the corridor for 2 seconds, they'll answer all your questions. It's so supportive, and I think I needed that as a person because academically teachers don't need to worry about me that much, but in terms of like support when it comes to like exam time or when it comes to like my workload, and they can immediately see, oh, she's a bit stressed, or have you got any worries, and they'll be the first to pick up on that even before you have. And it's nice to know that they sort of have that personal like relationship with you and they can sort of support you when you are struggling. Oh, you're completely familiar with like the examination process. You'll be doing your actual exams in the same location as you do your weekly exams. It will be the same exam conditions and control conditions. You won't have your teacher there, you'll have an invigilator, same as in an actual exam. So it's done very formally, and that might be a bit scary at first, but you grow to like become quite comfortable with it eventually. You can sort of see yourself progress in the records from like maybe a B to an A, and then the next week an A again. I think it was through Brampton's newsletter. There was a link to, I think it was a Goldman Sachs Interns Day. I was able to sort of get into that, and that's something I would have never had access to at a regular sixth form, and having like that be tangible for an 18-year-old is quite a big deal. I think I'm a lot more confident because after not doing as well in my AS levels, my confidence was really low. I was really shy. I didn't think I was capable of doing. Sort of, I thought I'd lost my potential because my GCSEs were quite good, and then to have such a slip up, I was completely shattered. And then Brampton slowly, weekly by weekly tests has sort of been able to like build that up, and you just have to work on it. And I think you can see yourself doing better and you start feeling a lot better, and then your confidence starts to grow, I think. I think to someone who was in my position a couple of years back, I would 100% recommend Brampton. Like, you deserve a second chance, first of all, and Brampton is more than capable of giving that to you. My future isn't as sort of bleak as I thought it would be 2 years ago, and I didn't think I would, like in my wildest dreams, be applying to one of the top 3 unis in the country. But at Brampton, you are told that the sky's the limit. If you want a second chance, if you want to do well at your A-levels, if you want to be academically pushed, it's a college that will always endeavour to give you those results that you're looking for, and probably beyond that. They'll push you academically, they will push you as a person, and they'll always try and get the best out of you.
I came from Norfolk College, so that was like a bigger school, and I was in all of the bottom sets, and you know, I felt quite dumb, and you know, I didn't feel like I reached my full potential. But I just wasn't being pushed enough, and you know, I was kind of just put into a set. I got really bad grades, so I came and redid them here, and I went from like D's to A's. It's the small classrooms and like the one-on-one attention you can get. All my friends are like, you became smart when you came to Brampton. I was like, it's an amazing school. I love doing tests in the library, for example. Like, I wasn't scared, like I didn't have that fear. think it really, really helped. It 100% gets you exam ready, and you know, you're doing it in the same working conditions as you do in the exam. I felt like I was part of a family here, like especially with the staff. I enjoyed the learning more here because of the freedom that you have. So for example, during study leave, like, you know, you're supposed to go home and revise or go to a library, but I was in school every single day from 9 to 5. There's no kind of, you have to be here, like you're here because you want to be here, do you know what I mean? I just think they had faith in me the whole way through. Like, I would be getting C's and they still managed to give me A predictions. I think it's like 100% the teachers. Having the support gives you so much confidence to actually believe, you know what, like I am smart and I can do it. Your voice actually matters here. So I was actually chair of the student council and the charity committee. I had a voice here. I would be too shy at Northwood College to like even put my hand up to vote for myself, like to be student council. Like I'd be too scared. It was lots of fun. I mean, I loved every day of Brampton. I found it so much fun. So I don't know, I feel like I built a lot of confidence coming here, and like I didn't have that confidence when I was at Northwood College, but now I'm thriving here. My social skills have improved. A lot of people say that coming to Brampton is like mini version of going to uni. And like, I really feel like I benefited from that. I've become more academic as well. I would definitely recommend Brampton. It changed me, so I just want other people to be changed. And it gets results. I got AAB this year, and I would never in like my wildest dreams be able to get that if I was at another school. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do it without Brampton. Like, it was the best experience. I don't know people that come to Brampton and fail. Like, I just had so many success stories. Like, you come here, you leave, you thrive, like, and you have so much support. Definitely a place where dreams come true, 100%.
I hadn't done very well, and I hadn't got the grades that I really wanted to, and I was really confused, really scared. I actually think that in that time I was just really, I don't know, I felt like I was destined for failures. So I knew that something had to change if it wasn't, you know, the style that I was working in, because I couldn't work anymore, then it had to be, you know, the teachers in the school. I actually was really apprehensive to move schools, but yeah, I couldn't be more thankful I actually did. Brampton makes it so easy. Firstly, because it's such a small school. There's literally, you'll get to know every single person in your year, and it's so easy to make friends because the classes are so small. There's about 8 to 9 people in each class. I mean, you get close to everyone, you know them. It's just easy to make friends here. The teachers are just so different here. They're all so passionate about their subject. They just love what they do, and they love seeing you do well. That's all they want. Because the teachers believe in you so much, it gives you that confidence in yourself. I felt like I was putting more effort into my work just because I wanted to make my teachers proud. It has a relaxed atmosphere. A massive example of that is how teachers are okay with you using first name basis. It just adds to the kind of friendly environment, and by the end of the year you're just so close with your teachers, and it just makes them so much more approachable, and you just know that, you know, you can get that extra support from them. It doesn't, you know, create that kind of barrier between like a child and a teacher. It kind of breaks that down, and it's just more friendly. The weekly tests, oh my God, they are amazing. Basically, you're doing an exam question every single week for every subject. So from the beginning, you're practicing that exam technique. The teaching is more focused on like the exam, what the exam wants you to do. To be honest, when I came here, I knew what I wanted to do in university. I wanted to do economics at university, but in my SAS, I didn't really get a good grade in economics. So all of a sudden I thought that it wasn't possible. I couldn't get there. And coming here, has made all the difference, because I think if I stayed at my last school, it wouldn't have been possible for me to do economics at uni. I came here and I got the chance to prove myself. It's made me, you know, more independent, more confident in myself, definitely. And I actually saw like a change in the way that I was working, and it was like more productive, and I did get the predicted grades and I did get an unconditional offer, which is amazing. Brampton's a place where I kind of found myself. I found out what I wanted to do. I think that it's made A-levels a breeze, which is very difficult to believe, but it's made it so easy, and I feel so comfortable just being here. I can only think of one word, and that's absolutely amazing.
It's an extremely high pressure school. For certain people it works extremely well, but for me it just didn't. And then I kind of came here and it was just this entirely different experience. I was so much happier. I've said this to so many people, but I couldn't imagine kind of carrying on at my previous school and not having come here. I don't think I would be the same person. Everyone here is so friendly, and everyone is here because they want to be. If you're surrounded by people that want to be here and want to do well, you're going to want to do well for yourself as well. I think for me that was like the biggest difference between the two environments. We'd call our teachers by their first names. The teaching is much more to you as a person rather than just a group of people that they don't bother to get to know. I know all of my teachers. I know I could have gone to any of them. I did go to them with any problems that I had. Because you have that constant routine, you also get used to the exam kind of environment. I had a bit of trouble with that exam anxiety. We do our exams in the library and in the hall, where we do our weekly tests, and it's all in exam conditions, so I mean you could just get completely desensitised to it. And it takes away that barrier of anxiety, which, I mean, when you're going into an exam you're nervous enough anyway, so I think that helped a lot. So of course you had the lessons, which were small sizes anyway, so any question that you had, you'd never feel awkward in asking it. They'd always give you a perfect explanation of why it would happen. They also had the tutorials every week, which just, if you're maybe unsure on something and you just want to go over it again, rather than, you know, bringing it up in class, they'll just go over it one-on-one. It is academic driven, I think, but there are so many other kind of extracurricular opportunities. It's just that kind of like you develop these other interests outside of just specifically your subject. I really didn't know who I was when I came here because I was just an absolute mess. Didn't know what I wanted out of life, didn't know what I wanted out of school or anything like that. But coming here, it's kind of really streamlined my choices and what I want to do, and just given me like a clear goal. It's just made me grow up, and it's really focused what I want to do and who I want to be, and what I want to get out of life. Biology is where I want to head. I want to go into like a biotech firm. Coming here has really helped develop that appreciation, that enthusiasm. I think so many schools gloss over the fact that, you know, not everyone's the same. And I think Brampton really treats the person as an individual, and they will always cater to your needs rather than to the needs of maybe the class or everyone else. There's always that personal touch. It's just a pre-university. It's nothing like school, it's nothing like anything you've seen before. It's got a very unique take on how they treat students and the teacher-student relationships. It's like more informal, you call the teachers by their first names. It's that kind of, you're here because you want to be here.